Well, Happy New Year, live audience. Don't know how many of you were at our Christmas show last month. Dare I ask for a show of hands? Oh, good, thank you. Well, that day, a Riverside Township community band member played just a few notes heralding our next show. It may best be described as dum-de-dum-dum. Was there ever a more recognizable set of 4 notes than that introduction to Dragnet? If you think about it, most TV shows today don't have recognizable theme songs. You know, someday we should ask Marianne Sadlak here, our music department, to play some of the old OTR theme songs, but many of you could easily identify the programs without a problem. Well, back to Dum-de-Dum-Dum. The beginning of the radio show was the concept of 2 men. One was Marty Wynn of the Los Angeles Police Department, and the other was Jack Webb, who more or less invented his camp style of delivery. That of somewhere between wary sarcasm and angry intensity. Even before Dragnet, though, he came into real stardom as the protagonist in a show called Pat Novak for Hire. Does anyone remember that show? Yeah, you bet. In preparation for the Dragnet show, he hung out and worked with the police force for over a year. The authentic squad room lingo was used in the writing, and it was as a result of his being a staunch police advocate that the show was aired. Let us now listen and watch as the Riverside Township's radio players present for the first time ever, Dragnet.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent. Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, brings you Dragnet. You are a detective sergeant. You're assigned to narcotics detail. A gang of veteran dope peddlers moves into your city. They offer $100,000 worth of heroin for sale. They make their contacts. They're ready to do business. Your job? Stop them.
You'll be amazed when you compare Fatima with other long cigarettes.
Buy a pack of Fatimas.
You'll find they now cost the same.
Light a Fatima. Your first puff will tell you,
Ah, now that's different.
yes. What a difference.
In Fatima, the difference is quality. You see, Fatima is the quality king-size cigarette because it contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos, superbly blended. And Fatima is extra mild with a much different, much better flavor and an aroma than any other long cigarette. Because of its quality, its extra mildness, its better flavor and aroma, Fatima has more than doubled its smokers coast to coast.
Try comparing Fatima yourself. Fatimas now cost the same as other long cigarettes, but your first puff will tell you.
Ah, that's different.
Yes. In Fatima,
The difference is quality. Ask your dealer for Fatima, the quality king-size cigarette. Best of all long cigarettes. Start enjoying Fatima today.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From the beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, June 24th. It was sultry in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of narcotics. My partner is Ben Romero. The boss is Thad Brown, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. It was 9:27 a.m. when I got to the Charing Cross Apartments on 12th Street. side entrance.
Hi.
Hi, anything doing?
Nothing.
How's the bug working?
Better. One of the fellas from the crime lab came out and fixed it last night. Went next door and replaced the microphone. I'm getting real sour on this detail, Joe.
Yeah. Here, let me take over for a while, huh?
You betcha. Whew. Here. My ears feel like a couple of baked cauliflowers. 2 solid weeks holed up in this place with a pair of earphones on.
Yeah.
What do we got to show for it? That woman next door hasn't even mentioned narcotics in 2 weeks. All she does is eat, sleep, and play solitaire. Goes out for groceries once in a while. Bzz, bzz.
Hold it. Somebody's ringing the buzzer next door.
Better get back in the loop.
Yeah. Just a minute.
Yeah,
Your name's May Washburn?
that's right. What is it?
I talked to a friend of yours. George said it might be a good idea if I looked you up.
What do you want to see me about?
Well, it's business, Miss Washburn. Could we talk inside?
All right, come on in.
Let me plug in these earphones, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to introduce myself, Miss Washburn. My name's Howard Scully. You and George were former associates, I understand.
We work together a little. What can I do for you?
Well, George and I are old friends. We were in business in Hong Kong before the war. Nice fella, George.
I have a date downtown in half an hour. I don't have much time to talk.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were in such a hurry. I'll get right to the point.
Yeah?
My business partners and I just came up from Mexicali a few days ago. We have some merchandise that's ready for the market. It's good quality.
That's what I hear.
I contacted George thinking he might introduce me to some prospective buyers. Said he didn't want to handle any merchandise at this time.
Why not?
It's something about the police. Seemed to be watching him. Just didn't want to take any part in a business venture right now.
Well, George gave you a bum steer sending you to me. I can't help you.
Well, you haven't heard my proposition.
Oh, I don't have to hear it. Count me out. I don't fool around with junk, any of it. It's a tough rap out there.
Well, if you just listen to my
No.
I'm not, please, no. I'm not asking you to be involved. I have a perfectly safe and legitimate transaction in mind. You'll be well paid for your time and effort with no risk whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. All you big connections make it sound so good.
George tells me you're acquainted with the right kind of people. Exactly the kind of people me and my partners want to meet. All I'm asking you to do is introduce me to a few such persons for our mutual benefit, and then you just leave the rest to me.
Yeah, well, that's still too much. If I led you to a buyer and you were caught, they'd get me in a heartbeat. I've just seen too much. I'm sorry, it's no sale.
Well, you'll just have to believe me, Miss Washburn. No one's gonna get caught. Now, we work in an entirely different manner. The police haven't any idea of our method of operation. We've tested it in 6 big cities in the Orient. Not once did it fail us, and I tell you, it's not gonna fail us here.
That's your story.
Well, I tell you, it's true.
Oh, I'm not chancing a rap to prove you're wrong.
Why?
Here, you want a cigarette?
Yeah, thanks. Here. Light?
Thanks.
Now, I want to ask you one thing, Miss Washburn. Introduction to the right party, and that's all. Now, you know my reputation. I'll make it worth your while. If the connection is right, you can live on your take for the rest of the year.
I don't have many friends, just a few.
So,
And what am I guaranteed for my payoff?
I can deposit the money with George. He'll hold it till the deal's made. You in?
Introduction. That's all.
That's all we'll need. Our product speaks for itself.
Well, I do know a fellow out in Hollywood. Name's McMillan. I can call him and tell him to meet you.
That'd be fine. How soon?
I'm not going to introduce you.
No, that won't be.
I'll just tell him to meet you. That's all.
That's all we ask. His name's McMillan?
Yeah,
Can you ask him to meet me tonight?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, tonight, 11:30, I'll be at the corner of 7th and Alameda. You'll remember this now.
Yeah, remember.
Corner of 7th and Alameda at 11:30 exactly. I'll be wearing a gray coat and I'll be carrying a book. McMillan shouldn't have any trouble recognizing me. Just tell him to walk right up to me, put out his hand, and say, "My name's McMillan." That's all. I'll know if he's the right party. My name's McMillan. That's all he has to...
All right, I got it. Not that hard.
Right. Well, I'll make arrangements with George to take care of your fee. Thank you very much, Miss Washburn.
Not at all. Just don't be too sure of yourself. The fuzz in this town can smell a bye 3 miles away.
We'll take care of the police, Miss Washburn. Our system should teach them a few lessons. Well, goodbye, Miss Washburn. Thanks very much.
Yeah, just don't come here after this. Call me on the phone.
Certainly. Goodbye.
Joe?
Wait a minute. She's going for the phone. Come on. Try the door.
Just a minute.
It's locked.
What do you want?
Police officers.
All right, what's the pitch?
Like to talk to you downtown.
About what?
Howard Scully.
What about him?
We know why he was here. Get your coat, miss.
I haven't done anything.
Come on, lady. Let's go.
I told Scully I didn't want any. He made the proposition, but I didn't buy it. You know that. I didn't buy a word of it.
We did. Before the suspect was taken downtown, we informed her landlady to tell anyone she'd be out of town for a week. That information was passed on to any of her friends or business acquaintances who might try to contact her. After that, we took May Washburn back to the office. After being questioned thoroughly, she was detained for further investigation. At 2 p.m., Ben and I met with Captain Kearney, Central Narcotics, and Inspector Virgil Beckner, State Narcotics Bureau, Southern Division.
$100,000 buy? Is that what they have in mind?
That's the word around town, Skipper. Washburn girl told us the same thing.
Washburn woman was up front for an office, huh?
Yeah, that's right, Beck. She was ready to go when we picked her up. Pusher's Howard Scully. Remember him?
About 9 years ago, wasn't it? The Tijuana deal.
8 or 9 years, yeah. That big heroin buy that tagged everyone in the gang but Scully.
Yep, he's no amateur. He's got every narcotics law in the book memorized. Sets the deal, takes the gravy, but he never gets tagged.
How about the federal narcotics men, Romero? They've been brushed at this time, at this level?
No, I called Harry Stoner on it this morning. They've been following it too. They'll be over this afternoon.
The setup with this McMillan guy. What do you think, Captain?
Clear sailing there, Beck. As far as I can see, Scully set up to meet with Miss Washburn. Ben and Joe grabbed her before she could contact McMillan. Unless Scully's got a Ouija board, he still must figure everything's jake.
Then we can have a man meet with Scully tonight and pass himself off as McMillan.
Shouldn't be too much trouble. From the way he talks, Scully's never seen McMillan. Has no idea what he looks like. Just a guess.
Neither one of you are known as Scully, are you?
Well, I never met him or his friends.
Now, I worked that case last February when we grabbed Ray Murdoch. He used to be a mule for Scully. That's as close as I've been.
I'm afraid that's too close. You know how many friends Murdoch has in this town? In a way, and any of them spot you and pass the word to Scully, the whole deal's choked off. Right? Joe? Thank you. Think you could pass yourself off as McMillan for a couple of days?
I can give it a try. Beck, what do you think?
Good with me if we can help with the tailing. Okay, only one possible hitch I can see.
Yeah?
We're not positive this guy's McMillan's a total stranger to Scully.
It sure sounded like it, didn't it, Joe? The way Scully and the Washburn girl were talking?
It's possible Scully might have seen a picture of McMillan. He might know something of his background, seeing as they're in the same business.
It's possible, yeah.
Suppose Scully starts asking questions, Joe. How are you going to cover?
Well, we could talk to the Washburn girl again. She might brief us.
Now, if we need the guy's life story, let's pick it up firsthand.
How do you mean?
Get McMillan.
Late that afternoon, Stanley McMillan was located in a small restaurant in the valley and quietly placed under arrest. He was booked at one of the outlying stations on suspicion of violating the state's Narcotic Act. They questioned him and got all the necessary information on his background that we needed. He told us that he had never seen or had any dealings before with Howard Scully. 7:30 p.m. I went home, changed clothes, put away my gun, ID card, and the rest of my identification. An hour later, I checked into a small hotel near 5th and Main Streets. 11:15 p.m. I left the hotel and started for 7th and Alameda Streets, where the scheduled meet with Howard Scully was to take place. As in most cases, there was one all-important rule that I had to work by. If the suspects were to be arrested and successfully prosecuted, we had to get them with narcotics in their possession or under their control. And one of the first things that the working detective learns is that dealers such as Scully rarely do the actual handling of narcotics, except at the actual moment of sale. If the officer fails to make an arrest at that moment, the odds are stacked heavily against the conviction of a narcotics criminal. 11:30 p.m. I got to the corner of 7th and Alameda Streets. I walked up to a man standing by a lamppost. He was short, heavily built, dark hair, dark eyes with a small scar on his chin. He had on a gray coat and carried a book under one arm. I put out my hand.
Yes?
My name's McMillan.
Oh, hello, Mr. McMillan. My name's Scully.
How are you?
I understand we have mutual friends. Is that correct?
That's what I'm told, yeah.
You're from Louisiana originally, New Orleans.
No?
Oh, so I thought you were from Louisiana.
No, Missouri, St. Louis.
Oh, I see. Suppose we go for a drive.
My hotel is down on 5th. We can talk there.
Oh, I think my car would be better.
I can't afford to waste time. I got customers waiting.
You can believe me, this won't be a waste of time. I'm prepared to do business.
All right, let's go.
Fine. You go ahead.
All right, thanks.
Now, will you raise the handle on the other side when you get in?
Yeah, sure.
Fine, thank you. You can't be too careful nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of heat.
Oh, none of it's on you?
No worry, I'm clean.
No tails?
Would I be here if there were? I've got customers to protect. Good customers.
Fine. And maybe we can do business. How much can you handle?
How much you got?
About 10,000 worth. Standard rate, full measure, undercover, all.
Sounds fair. We drove 3 more blocks, and then Scully pulled the car to a stop underneath a row of spreading palm trees on a deserted street. He pulled the emergency brake, and then he turned to me, clamped my arms to my side, and shook me down. Hey, what's the pitch here? What's the idea?
No offense, McMillan. Simple precaution in case you had a gun.
What do you take me for, mister? I'm not used to doing business this way. This might go real great in the East, but it's nothing out here.
I said no offense. This is a hot town. You could be a fuzz. You can't be too careful. You know that.
Yeah, well, you don't have to pull that careful stuff with me. Who set up this meet anyway?
You are listening to DRAGNET, authentic stories of your police force in action.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's different.
Yes, what a difference.
There's a difference you can hear, there's a difference you can see, but the difference in Fatima is quality.
Yes, friends, When you're comparing long cigarettes, you'll find that in Fatima, the difference is quality. Quality of tobaccos. The finest Turkish and domestic varieties. Extra mild and superbly blended to give you a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
Quality of manufacturer, smooth, plump cigarettes, rolled in the finest paper money can buy.
Quality even to the appearance of the bright, clean yellow package, carefully wrapped and sealed to bring you Fatima's rich, fresh, extra mild flavor.
Fatimas cost the same as other long cigarettes, but your first puff will tell you.
Ah, that's different.
Yes, in Fatima, the difference is quality. Ask your dealer for Fatima, the quality king-size cigarettes. Best of all, long cigarettes. Start enjoying Fatima tomorrow.
June 25th, Thursday, 12:30 a.m. I had 2.5 hours to raise $10,000. The narcotics dealers, Howard Scully and his partner Jim Rose, had laid it out for me. Either I had the money by 3 a.m. or there was no deal. If it failed to come off, our plan to trap the narcotics gang would be worth nothing. Rhodes and Scully could possibly find another buyer without our knowledge, make a deal, and flood the market with their store of narcotics. I knew it would be impossible to get the $10,000 together. We had only one alternative: fake our way as best we could. I went back to the hotel, put a call through to Captain Kearney at the office, and told him what had happened. He went to work on it. In the Narcotic Details Emergency Fund set up for such purposes, we got together $600 from Chief of Detectives Thad Brown, Deputy Chief White, and State Narcotics Bureau, and anyone else available by phone. We succeeded in rounding up another $350. 2:30 a.m. The money was tied in 2 small bundles with hundreds, 50s, and 20s on top. $1 bills were sandwiched in between. The 2 bundles were placed in a briefcase and delivered to me at the hotel on 5th Street. A gun was also in the briefcase. I took it out, put it in my pocket, and closed the briefcase. 2:45 a.m. I left the hotel with the money and started for the big meet. 3 a.m., 7th and Alameda.
McMillan,
Scully?
we're down this way. You have the money?
Your pal said all or nothing. I got it.
Let's have a look.
What about the merchandise?
We can check it in the car. It's right down this way.
Rhodes?
Hi. Got the money?
Yeah, that's right. I got the money. Now, how about a look at the stuff? I like to know what I'm buying.
We can stop on the way for a sample. Okay, Howard? Have some, McMillan.
What have you got?
Cashew nuts. Have some.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You know, lots of heat in this town. Cops sticking fries.
Yeah? That's right. Rough time. Gotta be careful.
What's the reason, anyway? When did it start?
Oh, about 6 weeks ago. Moles tagged some high school kids. Half a dozen of them.
What for?
Well, your regular hype types, just punks, 18-year-olds. A couple of them were 17.
Young squirts.
Yeah, and the heat's gonna get worse. One of the punks cashed in yesterday. Read it in the paper. Overdose.
That's not gonna help business.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I'm playing it close. I got good customers, and I'm not gonna risk my neck.
How much stuff you think you can handle a month, McMillan?
No more, no thanks. I got about 30 mainliners. They're regular and they're sure. 8, 10 ounces a week. But they like good stuff, no alley hype junk.
Howard must have told you. That's all we handle, good stuff. Goes right, we could make it a permanent connection with you.
Well, I'd like to see what you're offering first.
You'll have a good look. All right, Howard, you know where to pull up.
Yeah.
You stay in the car, McMillan.
All right.
What do you think?
Looks okay.
Well, okay. You go get him then.
All right.
All right, Mac, you can get out.
Yep.
There you go. Some of the best white stuff you've seen in a long time. Satisfy yourself.
All right. Okay. Standard.
It's all good. Not just that sample.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, how about the money?
All right, have a look. There you are. 1 stack, 2 stacks, hundreds, 20s, 10s, a few 5s in there. 10 grand. Satisfied?
Okay, Jim?
Right.
Excuse me, just a minute.
Hey,
Just checking.
what do you think you're doing? Get your lousy hands off me.
No offense, Macmillan. These are simple precautions.
Precaution's nothing. We're doing business, aren't we? You're down once tonight. How many times is it gonna take you?
No offense, Mac. He's just checking. That's all.
All right, then. Suppose I fan you two down. I got the dough. How do I know this isn't a hijack deal? Now, come on. This business works both ways. Either we have a deal or we don't. We play ball on both sides or not at all. I'm getting sick and tired of taking second place.
Okay, Mac, okay. Take it easy. Forget it, Howard. Let's all go back to the car.
Sure. I'm sorry, Mac. No offense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close the deal.
Where are we gonna go?
Nowhere. It's a safe place. Okay, Howard.
3:35 a.m. In another hour, it'd start getting light. I knew they planned to have the buy take place before then. According to our plan, Ben and Sergeant Hunt, along with the other team of men from the State Narcotics Bureau, were to tail us to the place of the meet. Move in on a signal from me when the buy was actually in progress. 3:45 a.m. Scully drove out North Figueroa onto Pasadena Avenue and turned right onto Avenue 43. We headed up Montesino Drive. The area became more deserted. There were no homes around, no buildings of any kind to provide cover for anybody that might be following. Somewhere below, we could hear the rattle of a freight train on its way to the Southern Pacific Yards. Off in the distance, I could see the lights of the city. It looked pretty far away. Scully finally pulled the car to a stop on the crest of the highest hill in the area. We got out.
What do you think, Mac?
Well, nice view.
Yeah. It's been a long time finding this spot.
Real good.
Bring him over here, Jim. Let's show him.
See there. Clear view of everything down below. At least a half a mile in every direction. No chance of getting trapped up here.
Pretty smart. That's the way I like to deal.
If there's any cops following us, we can see the lights before they get here. Plenty of time to cover up any evidence. Cops ask questions. Why? We tell them we're out here looking at real estate. Pretty good, huh?
Well, I gotta hand it to you. You can't be too careful. What do you do for lookouts?
Let me show you. Swede. Oh, Swede.
Who's that?
For friend.
Yeah, Jim?
What's the pinch? Who is this guy?
Business pal of Howard and me, Swede. This is Mr. McMillan.
What do you say?
How you doing?
Look, how many people you need to make a buy, Rhodes, huh?
Swede's our lookout. A big fella.
We got enough people here for a Sunday picnic.
We need a lookout. You just got finished saying it. We can't be too careful.
Oh, come on, let's wrap it up. Where is this stuff?
Swede, you want to get it?
Okay, Howard.
How far does he have to go?
Close by. Stuff's put away in the tall grass. Nobody ever found it.
Good idea. I like the way you operate.
Swede will have the stuff for you in a minute. Now, how about the money? Shall we count it?
I'd rather wait till Swede gets back.
Okay. Let's wait by the car. Can't beat this spot, can you, McMillan?
No, it's good.
You have no idea how much time we spent looking for it.
Well, you did real good.
Here you go.
Okay, thanks.
Now the money, huh?
How about counting it out here? I feel better keeping an eye on that road down below.
Okay, that's a good idea. Well, let's count it, Mac, huh?
Yeah. Here you go. Here's one bundle, and there's the other.
I'll count it, Jim.
Yeah, snap it up. We've been here long enough already.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, quite a few $1 bills here.
Huh? Well, there's a few of them, but it's all there, 10 grand.
I don't see how it could be with all these ones.
Here, let me see.
Don't bother, Rhodes.
Hey, what are you trying to pull?
Get away from the car, Scully. You too, Sweet.
Put the gun down, Mac. You won't get away with it.
Get your hands behind your head. That means you too, Rhodes.
Nobody's hijacked us, McMillan. You're not going to be the first one.
It's no hijack, mister. This is a pinch.
He's a fuzz. He's a lousy fuzz.
Shut
I
up,
knew
Howard.
we should have fanned him again.
You know, we can square this with you, Mac. 5 grand, cold cash. No questions.
You're talking to yourself, Rhodes.
I'll make it 10. 10 grand cash. Now you can't afford to pass that up.
Come on now. How about it, Mac? You're human just like we are. You can use the dough.
Keep your hands behind your head, mister.
Use some sense, Copper. Our Swede's as strong as a horse. I could put him on you. He could break every bone in your body.
You'd have to get past this gun first.
You're not gonna stop all three of us. How do you think you're gonna get back to town?
Don't worry. You won't have to walk.
You'll never get us downtown. Swede'll break you in half. He'll kill you.
You know, you just gave me an idea, Rhodes.
Huh?
You're pretty tough. Shouldn't bother you. I'll kill the Swede right now. You and Scully can carry his body in front of me. We'll start walking down that road till we get to the nearest place with a phone. I think that'll take care of it, won't it?
He hasn't got the guts, Jim.
Turn around, Swede.
Don't kill me, mister. I'll go with you. Don't shoot.
Turn around. Stay where you are, Scully.
Don't kill him, Copper. Don't kill Sweet. We'll do anything you say. Somebody's coming. Look, Mac, we'll give you every dime we own, $50,000, and tell them nothing's happened.
Ben, over here.
50 grand, Mac. You can't lose.
Hi, Joe. Back over this way.
The three of them, Ben.
Okay, all right. Behind your back. Come on. Couldn't get here any sooner, Joe. Had to park at the bottom of the hill and... Hey, stand still. And then circle around on foot through the grass.
I was beginning to think I lost you.
All right, you two. Get him behind your back.
Back.
Hi, Joe.
Here's the junk right here, these 2 packages.
Good, that ought to sew it up.
Look, talk it over with your partners, huh? $50,000. You do the right thing, it's all yours.
How about it? 50 grand. You can't lose.
What are they talking about, Joe?
They got a big deal. They'll give us $50,000 if we let them go.
How about it, Tex? You could use the dough. New car, new house. Just forget you ever saw us. Right now, 50,000 cash. What do you say, Tex, huh?
Sorry, you got the wrong man.
What?
My name ain't Tex.
The story you have just heard is true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
In a moment, the results of their trial. Now, here's our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you. In his training, the working detective is taught the importance of thoroughness. He has learned never to overlook even the smallest detail. What may seem unimportant to the novice may well be the one thing to help the working detective successfully culminate his case. So with the cigarette. The people who make Fatima are well trained and thorough in the manufacture of their cigarettes. Fatimas contain the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended. In pack after pack, Fatima is extra mild. If you're a long cigarette smoker like I am, smoke Fatima. They cost the same, but in Fatima, the difference is quality. Smoke Fatima.
May Washburn, Howard Lewis Scully, James Henry Rhodes, and John Swede Nelson were tried and convicted. They received their sentences as prescribed by law and are now serving their terms in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases with portions transcribed from official files.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
With us tonight in the title role of Jack Webb, alias Joe Friday, was Dave Sanchi. His sidekick, Sergeant Ben Romero, was played by Jay Summerfield. The rest of the LA Police Department consisted of John Shefke as Captain Kearney and Jim Ryan as Inspector Virgil Beckner. On the other side of the law were the drug dealers, Andre Dixon as Jim Rhodes, Joe Ryan as Swede, and yours truly, Bob Maher, as Howard Scully. All ably assisted by our Moll, May Washburn, played by Judy Marsh. I'm happy to report that none of us has ever touched the stuff, nor have we ever inhaled, and therefore or not, nor ever have been picked up for drug dealing in real life. At least I don't think so. Because in later broadcasts of Dragnet, Hal Gibney and George Fenneman of Bet Your Life fame shared alternating announcer lines. These were shared tonight by Jim Ryan and me, Bob Maher. Now, since we are often told that there are no small parts in theater, we are able to prove that statement by introducing Sue Gadzinski, who will now pad her part by once more stating,
Ah, now that's different.
yeah. Thank you, Sue. This real-life drama we just presented would not have had anywhere near the impact it gained without the sounds created and reproduced by Tom Lenz and Donna Emmemeyer. Background music so ably played by Marianne Sadilak. And I'd like to point out that both of these cast members put in quite a few extra hours just to provide a realism and create a mood that can bring you into the world of old-time radio. So let's give them another round of appreciation. Tom?
And
another introduction?
Sure, I've got another one right here. If you can't do something right, you surround yourself with good people. My neighbor, Tom Day, did the bugle work. Let's give him a big round of applause. When he's not shoveling my walk or raking my leaves, he runs buglesacrossamerica.org, providing live buglers for vets' funerals. So if you ever need to get a hold of Tom Day for a funeral for a vet, buglesacrossamerica.org. Thank you.
And now here to introduce the second half of the evening, Ellie Babka, our director.